What is good in the hood? It is Markin. I'm gonna be showing how I like to do my CDM oil trap cheese method for weapon leveling and camos. So we're gonna just take everything from the ground up, and I'm gonna explain what I like in my class and how the game looks as we go. So we're just gonna kind of dive right into it. Is we're gonna go to augments, and we're gonna want to make sure that on our vulture aid we have this picky eater minor augment. On death, the zombies will have a higher chance of dropping your current equipment. We're gonna need that because for the oil traps we want to use Molotovs. So if you go to your class and you go to Molotov, we're going to make sure we got a Molotov sitting there. In preference, your tactical doesn't really matter, but it's the Molotov that does. I do like to use Ether Shroud. So what I would like to actually get done today be my HDR. So I got my HDR right here, and if we take a look into it, you could see that I have all my base camos, I have all my special camos done as well, but I have no progress on my masteries, and I'm going to try to get all my masteries in one game. Alright, so like I said, we're going to work on this HDR. Now something to keep in mind on this map is there's going to be a lot of parasites that the oil traps won't be killing, and you also have your parasite rounds. Now your parasites are going to be the biggest pet peeve. They're going to really do the most damage more to you than anything else will if done correctly. So what I recommend, if you don't have a very good, hold your own weapon, this is a bolt action, this is not going to be great. I would recommend just picking up a stronger secondary. Also, that would apply if you're boosting a melee weapon. Like when I did these katanas, I had a SMG with me to make sure I was covered safely from a faraway distance. So with that said, let me get some points here, and I'm going to explain what I'll do next.
Consider that your final warning.
So it is the end of round 3. I have a little bit of points here. So like I said, since I'm using this bolt action, that's what I'm going to be focused on. I can't rely on this to carry me in bad case scenarios, so I'm going to move towards the box. I'm just going to try to pull really any gun that'll help me stand my ground.
It's like you read my mind. Shit, I hope not.
Okay, well, this will, so it doesn't need to be anything too crazy. We're just gonna roll with this. Alright, so we're still working up for the setup here. What we're going to want to do is we're pretty much going to want to open up this first part of the map. And we're going to want to pick up our perks too. I like to have Deadshot, and I'll have Sleight of Hand. And then we'll open up the castle and all that.
I'm not showing
So
off.
really just kind of work on getting your points up, however that is, open up. But we're not going to start the oil traps immediately.
Man, these are not the actions of the man I remember.
We're gonna drink some Deadshot. And I'll drink my Sleight of Hand. Alright, so we'll go ahead, we'll open up our first door right here. Go ahead, open up our other door. So of course we'll want to get to pack a punch, so we're gonna just have to open up the main castle using the cannon here.
Anyone home?
So with your salvage you collect, really most of it, if not all of it, will just be put into weapon rarity. So end goal, you'll want to have, the gun that's, you're obviously leveling, the HDR, and now in my case my support weapon right here, my warrior's blood. We're gonna want those, gold pack 3. So Doesn't really matter which ones you do first, but it's important to note though that the oil traps and Molotov, when they are in action, the damage output will be equivalent to your gun rarity and pack-a-punch. So legendary pack 3 will have the most damage output coming out of the oil and Molotov traps. So let's just go ahead and get some rarities on my weapons. Well, after nearly being killed by a zombie, we now have some weapon rarities. We're gonna just stop here. We're gonna get jugs for our third perk.
I've never had thin skin, but somehow
We're gonna
it
proceed to
feels
open up
thicker.
to the foyer, the swordsman room. And now before I do anything else, I want to get my last perk,
I see a vulture aid.
which will be Vulture Aid. So once that's done, we'll open up down towards
Marking
Pack-a-Punch.
target location. Okay.
Dangerous shipments in that area. Some direct from Richtofen.
Good thing we get a 5-finger discount.
I don't need to bribe. If I wanted acupuncture, I'd go to a bloody spa. Come on, wake up. Good times roll, as they say.
So with your knobs, you can feel free to take those to the swordsman. They'll keep spawning the knobs if you don't put them away, and that could get annoying, so just put those knobs away when you see them. Got another stamp here. We got enough points for that first pack on the
A
HDR.
little extra effort's always nice.
So
For
once we do
murder.
that, I'm gonna stay down here and I'm gonna build up points just for my 3-plate.
Marking armor.
You'll notice it is around 14. It's getting previously kind of late in the game, but that's okay. So we'll go ahead and buy our 3-plate. So now with our 3-plate, our 4 perks, and our packed guns, it's pretty safe to start the oil traps. Of course, with any more salvage you have, feel free to upgrade your guns. I just like to always keep it balanced between my 2 weapons as much as I can. Now, something important to keep in mind about these traps is the gun you have in your hands while the traps are going and getting the critical kills. It will be the weapon that is getting all the XP. So you want to make sure that when you're standing and the traps are doing their thing, you have the weapon you want leveled in your hands. So of course though, if there is parasites, let's say, and I want to work on my HDR, I want to have my HDR out. So if a parasite comes along and I need to kill it quick, I'm just going to spam my parasite and swap right back to my HDR to make sure I'm getting all that XP. So we'll have the location over here, and this location right here. We're going to start
Coordinates
over
marked.
on the trap on the left. I'm going to show you where to sit and throw a Molotov on that trap. So I'll wait till they spawn in. So we'll go ahead, I'll have my Molotov and I'm going to throw it right to the corner, throw some
Lighting
traps on.
Molotov. Looks like we found their melting point.
Just like that, we're going to swap to the HDR, so that way all of the XP is going to the
When I
HDR.
looked for somewhere to aim, I was spoiled for choice.
I'm right here at the corner, tucked up as
Bloody
much as
hell.
I can be.
That was a lot.
Just be mindful that until that fire is out, you will take damage if you run over that, so just always be mindful of that fire and how much health you have. You don't want to down yourself trying to run out. While this trap is on cooldown, you could go ahead and move to the other trap. On these early bug rounds, you might not want to use the trap. You might find it to be a bit wasteful, but once it gets heavier in those bug rounds, you definitely want to use the traps to just get you through those rounds as quick as possible. For now, I'm just going to spray these guys down. Continue Since that bug round is down, I'm making a note I can't pack a punch anything, I can't upgrade anything. I'm just gonna go to trap number 2 over here and I'll show you how I activate that trap. So once we turn it on, we're simply just gonna stand up on this ledge and we're gonna throw a Molotov to the corner. As long as you stand here, you should be okay until the trap runs out. I'm just right here on the ledge of the staircase.
Double points.
So it's really going to be as simple as that. We'll just keep making sure we can upgrade when we can, whether that be rarity or pack of punch itself, and we'll always just want to be mindful of our Molotovs. And when that trap is cooled down, this one should be ready to use again.
Setting incendiary!
Go ahead, make one of these guns epic rarity. I do have enough for pack, so I'm gonna go down and pack. You can always wait till the end of the round, but if you do go during the middle or start of a round, just be careful. You know, you don't want to lose any of your progress. So use your shroud and decoys.
Have we tried upgrading anything other than
HDR is
weapons?
now pack 2, and we're gonna hyper shroud our way out of here.
Okay, biologist.
We're just gonna make our way back to a trap and hopefully get our mystic gold here in just a second.
Molotov out!
And just like that, end of 20, start of 21, we got our mystic gold that easy. So for the opal, it's going to be those 30 special kills, so we're just going to want to keep our eye out for doppelgasts. Pro tip will be to use that mini map, look for those little skull icons so you know when they're close to your gate, so you have the right weapon out.
Setting incendiary!
Can't say no to a chopper gunner. Alright, well we have enough points for pack 2, so we're gonna run down there, get a pack 2 on the warrior here.
Oh, I love science.
Pack 2 on our support weapon, we're just gonna shroud back upstairs so we get that safe.
Lighting Molotov!
One thing I did forget to mention is when you throw your Molotovs, you want to make sure you don't hit a zombie with it directly, because that might not ignite your trap. So still working on that opal here. We are just moving right along. So something I'll note is use that mini-map to help you with your special zombies and knowing where they're at. So if I had to kill a parasite but I see a doppelgast up here, I want to swap out.
Lighting Molotov!
So I could see this amalgam coming. If I was shooting, I'd want to switch back to HDR.
Goodness me! It's all go round here!
I guess simply what I'm saying is just be mindful to have, you know, if you're working on that opal, to have the gun you're trying to level in your hands when a special zombie comes up. Let's just leave it at that. So you can see how he just broke through and the trial is over. You know, just be mindful, never go AFK, just keep your eye on that screen. Especially when the rounds get heavier, the breakthroughs will be more intense and you'll have to either, you know, kill till the end of the round or run to the other trap and use the other trap to support. Right, well, with it being around 25, there's a couple of things we could do with the amount of points we have. So I cannot upgrade my rarity on anything yet, but there is Wonder Fizz. I have enough for pack 3. In this case, I'm going to go pick up a couple extra perks right now. But one perk that is actually going to be incredibly helpful here is going to be your flopper. Your flopper will allow you to throw Molotovs a bit more recklessly without catching that fire damage from them.
Ooh,
That's going to
I
help
hope
out
this
a
is
lot,
worth it.
especially once we get moving. Eventually we will turn on that inducer too to help them come through faster, but we're just not going to do that right now because they're still, you know, ending the round on the trap, so it's the perfect speed for the trap. So after buying that PhD flopper as a refit perk, I do have enough points here to actually go pack 3 one of my weapons now.
You'll see how you insufferable
And
bastard
just
like
like
this.
that, HDR is now pack 3 purple on 25. We are just moving and grooving through this.
Molotov out! Lighting Molotov!
See how that flopper just started putting that Molotov right at your feet. So, parasites get a lot worse as you progress deeper. This HDR probably could handle them, but it's best to just have an automatic
Fuck
too.
you, and... Sending incendiary! Oh, fuck off! We're not done!
We got enough salvage to do a legendary upgrade, so we'll go ahead and do that. And since I'm feeling a bit risky too, we'll run downstairs and get our final pack-a-punch on this support weapon.
I'm 100% in favor of
Back up to the
self-improvement.
traps we go.
Even for... Molotov out! Consider that a critical observation. Sending incendiary! I wasn't worried. Not even for a second. Lighting Molotov!
Hopefully, essence after a while, development too. You can hold it, you just gotta do whatever you want with it. I'm gonna go just buy all the perks I don't have yet.
Be right back! Look after your body, and your body will look after you.
Now since we're perked up, we're just gonna get back to our traps. We're still working on that legendary rarity for the support weapon.
Molotov out!
And we're gonna put a legendary rarity on our support.
Lighting Molotov!
So our guns are totally maxed out, minus an ammo mod. You don't really need it.
Molotov out! That's what happens when you think you're doing a fire. Sending incendiary!
We'll just go ahead, put an ammo mod onto HDR. And since both my guns are fully maxed out now, I have all the perks. I think I'm gonna crank the heat up. You go ahead and turn on the inducer if you wish to do so.
Hope there ain't no
This
dragon
will
guarding that
help the
place.
rounds move a bit faster. It'll also let the zombies pass through the traps in a more timely manner so you're not left with a lot of stragglers at the end of your trap.
Molotov out!
And with that inducer on, you'll lose a bit of time to do your looting, so just make sure
Sending
you get over to
incendiary!
your next trap as quickly and as safe as you can.
Lighting Molotov!
At the end of 41, we just got our opal.
Kaboom!
So for the afterlife, That's going to be 20 kills without damage, so those parasites are going to be annoying. They're going to damage you, but it is possible. Just be patient. You're going to get hit. It's not going to be perfect, but you'll be able to get this.
Sending incendiary! Yeah, I'm gonna call that a successful shot. Lighting Molotov! Molotov out! I could have killed a lot more of you, you know!
So just like that, end at 44, so only a couple rounds since we got Opal. We got Afterlife just like that, so finish this all up. The main quest here was to get to Nebula, so all what we need for that Nebula is going to be those 10 elite zombie kills. In this case, on this map, we just want to keep our eye out for the amalgams and make sure the amalgams are getting credited for that HDR.
Molotov out! Lighting Molotov! Molotov out! Waypoint marked. I see a horde. Sending incendiary!
Yeah, this Model L is pretty terrible, so I'm gonna maybe
Have we
just
ever
try to
figured
get
out exactly
something
how
new,
and why this
something more
box works?
comfortable or meta.
At last,
Okay,
a
we'll
glimmer
take
of
an AS
positivity.
file.
Never too late to become an even more effective killing machine.
So we just put the pack 3 on that, and we'll throw our mend on top of that for good measure. And just like that, we're getting back to these elites for our Nebula.
Molotov out! Sending incendiary! Oh, fuck off! We're not on! Lighting Molotov! Holy shit! Did anyone else see that? Sending incendiary! Lighting Molotov! That was quick. Especially the bit where you went from on to off. Hiding multiple enemies. Molotov out! This must be that flow state Harvard told me about! see that? Sending incendiary! Molotov out! Lighting Molotov! I wondered how gratifying that might be, but... Wow! Sending incendiary! Group of enemies here. Decoy thrown!
Just like that. Round 67, we do have our Nebula, so I think we started our Nebula on 45, so it did take about 20 rounds for 10 amalgams to spawn in. Roughly, you could figure there's going to be an amalgam every other round you play, give or take. Some rounds it spawn none, some it spawn two, so just be patient with that.
Oh, come on!
But other than
That
that,
is not how biology works!
mission achieved. We just
Bloody
got our
cheaters.
Mystic Gold, our Opal, our Afterlife Nebula for the HDR all in one game. So, after this point, some things you can do if you would like is if you have all this material like I do, the salvage, 35,000 salvage, you could always see if you have any challenges that require equipment, so feel free to use up that salvage. You could save and quit your game if you want to, you know, boost other weapons in the same game. Go to a box or wall buy, get what you need. In my case though, I want to go to the lobby just to see the recap of the match, see how long it took. Yeah, so we'll follow up in just a second here. So an hour 43 minutes, that's gonna be our match time right there. But just to confirm the Nebula, we gonna look at the HDR now. Sure enough, there is that Nebula. From 1 round of CDM, an hour and a half. That is that. That is the CDM oil trap. Cheese method. Yeah.